Understanding Picasso is far less difficult than you might think. At its heart, the Cubism he pioneered is about capturing every dimension of an object at once, reconstructing our world through a lens of geometric fragments. By shattering the single viewpoint and linear time and space, Picasso merged different angles and fleeting moments onto a single canvas. He didn't just paint, he fundamentally redefined how humanity perceives and depicts reality. In the long river of art history, few artists have broken the chains of tradition as fiercely as Pablo Picasso. With the depth of a philosopher, he liberated art from the imitation of nature, ushering in a bold new era of modern art. Hello everyone, I am Digital Van Gogh, traveling across a century. I've come to guide you through the mind of Picasso, helping you grasp in minutes how this art titan forever transformed human aesthetics. At the turn of the 20th century, Western art was mired in crisis. The rise of photography had stripped realism of its core purpose, while Einstein's theory of relativity subverted humanity's inherent understanding of time and space. As technology evolved, realistic painting gradually lost its social significance. A shift Picasso sensed long before his contemporaries. He abandoned the Impressionist obsession with light and shadow and moved beyond the raw, emotional outpourings that define my own works. Instead, he adopted a calm, almost surgical analytical perspective. Exploring the infinite possibilities of artistic expression, this marked a pivotal shift for artists, no longer mere recorders of the world, but its constructors. Picasso's pivotal artistic breakthrough arrived in 1907 with Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. This was far more than a milestone in his career. It was the founding manifesto of modern art. He discarded the single-gen-point perspective dominant since the Renaissance, compressed multi-dimensional space onto a flat canvas, and established an entirely new visual order. Look at the 5 female figures in this painting. You will find none of the fluid lines and soft silhouettes of classical art. In their place are sharp triangles, irregular polygons, and jagged color blocks. This represented Picasso's thorough rebellion against the traditional language of artistic form. Look closely at these lines. Traditional paintings feature continuous, flowing lines that embody grace, while Picasso deconstructs lines into fractured geometric shards. He believed the essence of an object lies in its internal structure and inherent vitality, rather than its superficial outlines. The face of the figure on the left is disassembled into multiple geometric planes, with facial features rearranged beyond natural proportions to create a jarring yet powerful visual impact. The figures on the right incorporate elements of African tribal masks, whose sharp, angular contours brim with primitive life force. This was his redefinition of truth, stripping away the skin of reality to reach the core essence of things. Even more revolutionary is his breakthrough in the perception of time and space. By presenting human figures from multiple perspectives simultaneously, he achieved spatio-temporal superposition, an artistic interpretation of the theory of relativity. He compressed time into space, constructing a 4-dimensional manifold on a 2-dimensional canvas. If Les Demoiselles d'Avignon marked the starting point of artistic deconstruction, his 1937 magnum opus Guernica integrated this deconstructive technique. With incisive social critique, the work stands as Picasso's powerful response to the Nazi bombing of the town of Guernica. He deliberately eliminated all chromatic colors from the canvas, retaining only black, white, and gray. This was not an act of simplification, but a deliberate choice to amplify tragic tension. By removing the emotional buffer brought by colors, he forces viewers to stare into the raw, unmasked face of war. It remains the ultimate example of form-serving thematic content. The composition is built on an asymmetrical imbalance, anchored by a vertical axis. It echoes the total collapse of order following the bombardment, symbolizing a flicker of hope still lingering in the depths of despair. At the center, the bull is shattered into sharp geometric shards. It stands as a resilient icon of the Spanish spirit, while simultaneously hinting at the mindless cruelty and violence of war. On the left, we see a grieving mother and her lifeless child. Her body is distorted into irregular geometric planes, a broken spine, stiff limbs. Picasso hollows out her eyes into dark voids, transforming a personal tragedy into a universal cry for human empathy. The fractured horse head embodies the desperate struggle for life. Beside it, a soldier's severed arm clutches a broken sword, a symbol of unyielding resistance. Picasso even weaves in early collage techniques, using hidden newspaper textures to anchor the nightmare in the raw reality of the world. Guernica established the powerful social critical function of modern art. Through this restrained, monochromatic artistic language, Picasso proved that abstract expression carries far greater striking power than direct verbal accusation. My art revolves around the release of inner emotions, while Picasso's creations embody the abstraction of cognition. We both defied artistic conventions, yet his artistic revolution was far more radical. He did not merely change artistic styles, but fundamentally reshaped how humanity observes and understands the world. He once said, "I paint not what I see, but what I think." This lies at the core of his art. Art is never a mere copy of nature, but the thoughtful reconstruction of the world. I painted starry skies in pursuit of inner peace. Picasso depicted war scenes to expose human suffering. Distinct as our brushworks are, we share an eternal spiritual resonance across centuries. We both regarded art as a weapon, a prayer, and a spiritual pillar for survival. He lived to the age of 91 and created over 37,000 artworks. Throughout a life filled with fame and controversy, he never stopped breaking rules and reinventing himself. His late works boast a rugged innocence, confronting aging and the truth of life without fear. Is Picasso a genius or a destroyer? I believe he is both. Just as I am, we both understand that creation presupposes destruction, and true insight comes from breaking inherent limitations. Our artistic styles differ, yet our restless obsession and relentless pursuit of truth bind our souls together across time and space. He passed away peacefully in 1973. The world hails him as a grand master, but in my eyes he is a trailblazer who shattered the shackles of traditional art and foresaw the future of art. This untamable, authentic soul is exactly what we share.